My name is Olivia Monroe, and my wedding day was supposed to be the happiest day of my life. Instead, it became the day my world cracked open, the day a woman who barely knew me stood up in front of 200 guests and tried to destroy me with 9 words. The child she's carrying belongs to another man. But before I tell you exactly how it happened, before I describe the way the room fell silent, or the way my knees almost buckled beneath me, or the way my fiancé looked at me with a face I can never forget, I want to welcome you here. If you love cinematic storytelling, real human conflict, betrayal, truth, justice, healing, the kind of stories that shake your chest and stay in your mind long after they end, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your voice matters, and someone might need to hear what you have to say. Alright. Let us go back to the beginning. I met Ethan Walker when I was 24. He was charming in that quiet, understated way, not loud, not flashy, but attentive. He listened deeply. He made people feel seen. And up until the moment everything shattered, I believed he loved me more honestly than anyone ever had. When we got engaged, his family reacted with what I would now call polite discomfort. Smiles too tight. Congratulations delivered with a stiffness that felt rehearsed. And hovering in the background. Always watching. Always judging. His mother, Margaret Walker. Margaret was the type of woman who carried herself like royalty without ever needing a crown. Her voice was soft but sharp, her posture perfect, her presence imposing. Ethan once joked that she could silence a room just by raising an eyebrow. It was not a joke. She never said outright that she disliked me, but she did not have to. The disapproval radiated off her like heat from asphalt. Whenever I entered a room, she would glance down at my shoes as if measuring their worth. Whenever Ethan held my hand, she would look away as though the sight offended her. And whenever wedding planning came up, she would make comments like, "Ethan has always had exquisite taste. I hope the wedding reflects that." Or, "Some families value tradition. Others prefer modern choices." Modern choices was her polite way of saying, I do not approve of this woman carrying my grandchild. Because yes, I was 3 months pregnant when we announced our engagement. And Margaret had not forgiven me for that. On the outside, I tried to be gracious. I tried to smile, to win her over, to show her that I was not the reckless girl she clearly imagined me to be. I wanted her to know that her son marrying me was not a mistake, or an accident, or a compromise. But nothing softened her. She asked intrusive questions. She criticized every decision I made. She insisted on attending my doctor appointments, for the baby's sake. And several times, I caught her whispering to relatives, smiles tight, eyes narrowed, as if preparing them for some unseen scandal. One night, I asked Ethan, "Does your mother hate me?" He sighed and pulled me closer. "She does not hate you," he said. "She just had a different vision for my future." Meaning? I pushed gently. He hesitated. She wanted someone from her social circle. Someone who fits into the world she built. I swallowed hard. "And you think I do not?" He kissed my forehead. "I want you. That is all that matters." At the time, I believed him. I believed love was enough to silence disapproval, to overcome prejudice, to dissolve whatever resentment Margaret had toward me. I did not know then that some people do not want harmony. Some people want control. And when they cannot control their own child, they look for someone else to break. The morning of the wedding was bright and warm, the kind of late spring day when sunlight feels like blessing. My bridesmaids bustled around me, laughing and adjusting their dresses. My dress, ivory silk with embroidered florals, fit perfectly. My hair fell in soft curls over my shoulders. I felt beautiful, calm, hopeful. Ethan sent a text around 9:30 a.m. "I cannot wait to see you. You make everything better. I love you." I held the phone against my chest and smiled. A few minutes later, my maid of honor, Sophie, whispered, "Your glow is insane. Pregnancy looks incredible on you." I laughed. "You are just saying that." "No," she said seriously. "You look like happiness itself." Looking back, I wish I could freeze that moment. One final breath before the world shifted. Because in less than 3 hours, I would be standing at the altar. In less than 3 hours, I would watch a woman walk toward the microphone with a smile that did not reach her eyes. In less than 3 hours, I would hear the sentence that would break my wedding in half. When the ceremony began, music echoed through the garden venue, soft violins lifting into the warm air. I stood at the entrance, my father beside me. "You ready?" he whispered. I nodded, though my heart was pounding. When the doors opened, I stepped forward. People turned. Smiles spread. Phones rose to capture the moment. And then, there was Ethan, waiting for me at the altar. Blue eyes shining. A smile that made my breath catch. I loved him so deeply in that moment it almost hurt. But even then, even in the beauty, I noticed something. Margaret. Front row. Perfect posture. Hands folded. Eyes fixed on me with an expression that was impossible to read. Not joy. Not pride. Something colder. A chill crept up my spine, but I forced myself to keep walking. We reached the moment for the vows. Ethan squeezed my hands lightly, a gesture meant to calm me. The officiant smiled warmly. Before we proceed, he said, if anyone feels there is a reason these two should not be joined in matrimony, speak now or... His words were cut off by the sound of a chair scraping sharply against stone. A murmur rippled through the guests. And then Margaret Walker, immaculate in a deep navy dress, hair pinned into a perfect twist, stood up slowly. She moved toward the microphone with deliberate grace, as though she had been preparing for this moment. My entire body went cold. Ethan's face drained of color. My father stepped forward instinctively, but something in Margaret's expression froze him in place. She reached the microphone, gently adjusted it, then looked directly at me with eyes like polished steel, and said, "The child she's carrying belongs to another man." Time stopped. Silence fell so thick it felt like a physical force pressing against my chest. Gasps erupted. Someone dropped a glass. A distant relative whispered, "Oh my God." My vision swam. My breath caught. I felt the world tilt. Ethan let go of my hands. Not roughly. Not dramatically. Just a slow, small release. That felt like the ground vanishing beneath me. "Mom," he said, voice trembling, "what are you doing?" Margaret kept her gaze fixed on me.